blank page is what is rounding? What is rounding? Alright, let's circle the word rounding. And tell me, what do you remember about what rounding is? And if you need to go back and look in your math notebook, there might be some helpful clues in there about what rounding is. Bailey, you remember?
Moving to the nearest.
Love that. So Bailey said that it is moving to the nearest benchmark. I love that. Moving to the nearest benchmark. Gracie, can I give you a hint? If I say the same sentence over and over again, you probably need to write it. Moving to the nearest benchmark. Now Bailey used a fantastic vocabulary word, benchmark, or benchmark number. What is a benchmark, or benchmark number? Because Bailey's totally right, it is moving to that benchmark number, but what if I don't know what a benchmark number even is? Is it any number? Is any number a benchmark number?
No.
1,317.
No. Well, it could be.
That's not going to be a benchmark number. Eliana, what's a benchmark number?
It could be like 5 and 10.
Okay.
25, 10.
Sure.
And it could be midway 20.
Sure. Really?
Is it 10?
Yeah, these are our, what I call friendly numbers. Easy numbers. I like easy. Frankie, you like easy?
Yes.
I like easy.
Me too.
And these easy numbers are typically multiples of 10. And what that means is, it's a number that I can get to when I skip count by 10. So for instance, the number 40 is a friendly number. It's an easy number for me to add with. It's an easy number for me to subtract with. It's an easy number for me to get to. Do you have a question, or are you just saying that? Yeah. Okay. One kind of rounding that we did was rounding to the nearest 10. Do you remember that kind of rounding? Where we drew a number line that was 10 numbers long. We found our midpoint, and then we had to figure out which endpoint was closest. We did an even bigger number line. That number line was only 10 numbers. But we also did a number line that was 100 numbers. And that was called rounding to the nearest 100. So we rounded to the nearest 10. Brady, you got this written down? And we rounded to the nearest 100. William, if we're rounding to the nearest 100, how many numbers is going to be on my number line? If I'm rounding to the nearest 100, how many numbers are going to be on my number line? What do you think? Anybody know? If I'm rounding to the nearest 100, how many numbers are going to be on that number line? Ethan?
100.
100 numbers. Because I got to get to the closest one. Liam, if I'm rounding to the nearest 10, how many numbers on my number line?
10.
10. Very good. Okay.
Rounding to the nearest one.
So rounding to and find the nearest benchmark. That's what we already wrote. We just talked about that friendly number. But why would I want to round? What's the point of that? AKA, why would I want to work with friendly numbers? For why? On your paper, I want you to write the word why in pretty large letters, like 2 lines big, 2, 3 lines big. Why? So I want you to think about that question. Why are we learning how to round? What's the point? I want you to turn to the people at your table, and I want you to tell them what you're thinking. Why would I want to round? Oh, all right, I want to know, why are we doing this? For why? There's a lot of conversation to hear or to not see as many hands. Friendly, why would I want to round a number?
Because it's easier than adding everything together.
Yeah, it's literally to make it easier write that sentence down, Liam. To make it easier to do other math. Annabella, we're writing. So a lot of you, I heard, said addition. Right? It's easier to add 40 plus 40 than it is to add 37 plus 45. It's just easier. I like it. I'm all about easy. But you can also do it with other math. If I have the problem 6 times 9, oof, 9 is pretty close to 10. It rounds to 10. 6 times 10 is way easier. So I know my answer should be close to 60, because 6 times 10 is 60. So rounding just makes it easier for me to do other math. It could be addition, could be multiplication, could be subtraction, could even be division. When I round, am I going to get an exact answer?
No.
What kind of answer am I going to get? If I'm not going to get an exact answer, what kind of answer am I going to get? Emma? I'm going to get a close to answer. To get a close to, I'm going to say number instead of answer. To get a close to number. Rounding should be your favorite math. Why? Because the whole point of it is to make it easy. I like easy math. I like hard math too. But if I have to pick between easy math or hard math, probably gonna pick some easy ones.
I like hard math.
When we round to do other math, like what we did, we rounded to add. That's called estimation. That's what that's called. So underneath what you've already written, or if you need to turn the page, write estimate. Estimate. Yep, in your notebook. Either on the next blank page or underneath what you've already written, depending on how much room you have. Estimate. So estimation is that other math. So we just rounded, we made our numbers easy, and then we added them. That is estimation. Or we multiplied them. That is estimation. We're not getting an exact number when we estimate. I'm making a guess. I'm getting a close to answer. I want you to write this sentence down. It is one sentence long. You will survive. It says, estimation is using friendly benchmark numbers to add, subtract, multiply, and or divide to get a close to answer. If you would like to put the symbol instead of the word for add, subtract, multiply, and divide, that is fine. For example, which operation do you want to use? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Addition, alright. Give me a random number, Miranda.
5.
Bigger number, please. 2-digit number.
12.
What is it?
12.
12. We're adding. Emma, give me another 2-digit number.
25.
25. So the equation that we just wrote is 12 plus 25. Do you remember the symbol for rounding or estimating? The little squiggle. What is 12 gonna round to? Oof. What benchmark number, multiple of 10, is 12 closest to? If I skip count by 10, I have 10, 20, 30, 40. Which of those numbers is 12 closest to? Autumn, over your hands. Lucy? 10. So next to 12, I'm going to write a little squiggle and say that's pretty close to like 10. Let's do another squiggle next to 25. Ooh. 25 is a tricky one. And I know 25 is a tricky one because if I drew my number line and I said 20 and 30 and then I found my middle, it's 25 right in the middle. How am I going to figure out which one's closest? Because actually they're both the same distance or difference away. Brayden? Well, good on iReady. I believe Miss Miller might have said that too. But hey, if you're listening to somebody, I'll take it. 25. If it's in the middle, it'll always round up to the higher benchmark number. So 25 is going to round to what, Brayden? 30. So my new equation is now 10 plus 30. Raise your hand if you think that's an easy math problem to solve. 10 plus 30. I think so too. Autumn, do you know what 10 plus 30 is? 40. Underneath that, I want you to write answers that would not make sense. Answers that would not make sense. Can you think of an answer that would not make sense? Miranda? I don't know if I would say 50. 50 is pretty close. But I would definitely say 100. I know 12 and 25 is not going to get me to 100. What about Easton? What do you think?
1,000 and 15,000.
1,000 would not make sense. What about the answer 20?
No.
Would 20 make sense?
No.
But 20 is close to 40.
But you need a higher answer. Need a higher answer.
20 is close to 40. Why is not 20? It doesn't make any sense.
Because you need to go higher.
Look at my numbers. I already have more than 20, because I already have a 25. If I'm adding 25, is the answer ever going to be 20?
No.
Probably not.
And I can see what this.
Arvin, what do you think?
Because you're 35 up and you're adding 12, so that's going to be more than.
It's going to be more. Liam, can you think of another crazy answer that wouldn't make sense?
16.
16. Yeah. Right? 5. 5 would not make sense. Because the numbers that I'm adding are already bigger than that. Scarlett? What'd you say? 1.
1.
Yeah. Right on, what are you thinking?
80.
80. Yeah. If I'm adding something that's a 10 or close to 30, I'm probably not going to get up to 80. This is what good mathematicians do. I don't even need to figure out what the answer is. I just need to know what it's close to. Because Liam, if I add 12 plus 25 and I accidentally get 1,000, is that right? No!
No.
You know! Oh, something's wrong. That wasn't right.
If you get one or something, that would be pretty easy.
Estimation makes math easier so we can do it in our head.
And math.
That's what estimation is good for. Yes, ma'am. I will put it on 2 pages so that people can write this sentence down. So the sentence you're writing down is estimation makes math easier so we can do it in our head, aka mental math. Mental math is the ability to do math in your head. Estimation makes that easier. Come on, homie.
I don't have enough money.
So just a second ago when we were listing answers that would not make sense, we were using estimation.
Yeah.
You had already figured out what 10 plus 30 was, probably in your head. And you knew that these other answers don't make sense because they are not close enough. Let's try a subtraction problem. If, whoops, I said if I said 72 minus 38, would the number 10 be a good estimate? I've got 72 minus 38. Would the answer 10 be a good estimate? If you need to do the squiggles out to the side, definitely can. If you need to draw some number lines, definitely can.
So we answered
them? 72 minus 38. 10 be a good estimate. Is 10 going to be close to the right answer? That's what I want to know. Well, it's moving in the right direction, right? If I'm subtracting, I'm usually going down. So that's good. 72. What is 72 close to? What benchmark number is that going to be close to? friends. Yikes. What is 72 close to? Autumn, what do you think? Is it closer to 80 or is it going to be closer to 70? 70. Remember, we're skip counting. Closer to 70. Okay. What about 38? Liam, what's 38 close to?
38 close to 40.
40. So now my new problem says 70 minus 40. I can do that pretty easily in my head. I just have to go backwards with skip counting. Anyone know what 70 minus 40 is? Really? 30. 30. So would 10 be a good estimate?
No.
Lucy? No! Exclamation point. 10 is way too small. That's not a good estimate. Something close to 30 would be good. But 10 is too small. Do you see how we did that?